Golf fans, the PGA Tour finds itself at the center of another heated debate, and once again, Rory McIlroy is one of the biggest names driving the conversation. Over the past several months, discussions about the future of professional golf have become more intense than ever. With Rolapp leading plans for major structural changes inside the PGA Tour, players, fans, and analysts have been questioning what the future of the sport could look like. While some dramatic social media posts have claimed that lawyers became involved in the dispute, there has been no credible reporting confirming that Rory McIlroy sent a cease-and-desist letter to Rolapp. What is confirmed is that the two have exchanged differing views over the direction of the tour, and have spoken directly about the proposed changes. Rory McIlroy has never been afraid to speak his mind. Throughout his career, he has established a reputation for being one of golf's most outspoken stars. Whether discussing live golf, the future of the PGA Tour, scheduling, or the financial direction of professional golf, McIlroy has consistently shared his opinions, even when those opinions generated controversy. Many fans appreciate his honesty, while others believe his comments sometimes create unnecessary headlines. Regardless of which side people support, there is little doubt that whenever Rory speaks, the golf world listens. The latest discussion centers around Rolapp's vision for reshaping the PGA Tour over the coming years. After taking over as chief executive, Rolapp introduced several ideas designed to make professional golf easier for fans to follow, while increasing competition among players. These proposals include restructuring tournaments, creating clearer competitive pathways, and introducing a championship series alongside a challenger series. According to tour leadership, the goal is to simplify the schedule while making every event more meaningful. When those ideas became public, Rory McIlroy offered his first reaction. He acknowledged that many of the proposed changes moved the tour in a positive direction, but he also raised concerns about how certain events might be perceived. One particular remark quickly spread across golf media when McIlroy suggested that the proposed Challenger Series could resemble a glorified Corn Ferry Tour. Those words immediately became one of the biggest talking points in professional golf. Naturally, golf fans began debating whether McIlroy had gone too far. Some believed he was simply expressing an honest opinion about protecting the prestige of established tournaments. Others argued that publicly criticizing a proposal before it had even been finalized could undermine confidence in the tour's long-term strategy. Social media quickly filled with opinions from every direction, turning a policy discussion into one of the biggest stories in golf. Instead of allowing the disagreement to grow, Rolapp addressed the issue publicly. He explained that he had already spoken directly with McIlroy and emphasized that the Challenger Series was never intended to become a second-class tour. According to Rolapp, the future structure would still involve many of the same players competing for significant prize money at recognizable venues. From his perspective, the objective was organization rather than separation. That response demonstrated something important. Despite public disagreement, communication between the two remained open. Rather than escalating into a personal conflict, both men appeared willing to discuss the future privately while continuing to express their perspectives publicly. That is a very different situation from many online rumors suggesting legal disputes or personal battles. One reason these discussions attract so much attention is because Rory McIlroy has become one of the unofficial voices of modern professional golf. Over the past several years, he has frequently represented player opinions during periods of uncertainty. Whether discussing live golf, negotiations involving outside investment, or changes to the tour schedule, reporters often seek his reaction before anyone else's. His influence extends far beyond tournament results. At the same time, Rolapp entered golf with a successful reputation built during his years helping shape the NFL's business strategy. Many observers believe his experience in media rights and sports entertainment could help the PGA Tour become more competitive in an increasingly crowded sports marketplace. However, bringing ideas from one sport into another is rarely simple. Golf has traditions stretching back generations, and any major change naturally produces resistance. That tension explains why every statement from both sides receives enormous attention. Players want to know how the proposed changes might affect their careers. Tournament organizers wonder whether long-standing events could lose prestige. Sponsors want reassurance that investments remain valuable. Fans simply hope the sport becomes easier to follow without sacrificing its history. Another interesting aspect of this debate is that McIlroy has not rejected every proposal. In fact, after speaking with Rolapp and reviewing more details, he publicly described the overall direction as positive, while recognizing the difficulty of implementing change across such a large organization. He acknowledged that transforming the PGA Tour is far more complicated than many outsiders realize because so many different stakeholders are involved. That balanced approach often gets lost once headlines begin circulating online. Dramatic titles generate clicks, but they rarely capture the full picture. Many viewers see only a few words suggesting conflict without realizing that both individuals have also expressed respect for each other's positions. This is exactly how speculation can grow much faster than verified information. One comment becomes another headline. That headline becomes a social media rumor. Eventually, completely unverified stories begin circulating, including claims about legal threats that have never been confirmed by credible news organizations. Before long, many people assume those rumors must be true, simply because they have seen them repeated so many times. For golf fans, separating rumor from reality has become increasingly important. The modern news cycle rewards speed, and social media allows stories to spread globally within minutes. Unfortunately, corrections rarely travel as quickly as sensational claims. While these discussions continue, the PGA Tour still faces much larger challenges. Professional golf remains divided after the arrival of Live Golf. Television ratings continue to be closely monitored, sponsors expect greater value for their investments, and fans want the world's best players competing against each other more often. Every decision made by tour leadership carries significant consequences for the future of the sport. Rory McIlroy understands those challenges better than almost anyone. Throughout recent years, he has repeatedly spoken about wanting golf to become stronger rather than more divided. Although he has criticized certain decisions, he has also expressed optimism whenever he believes meaningful progress is being made. That combination of criticism and support sometimes creates confusing headlines, but it reflects the complexity of the situation. Rolapp also appears aware that earning player trust will require patience. Major organizational changes cannot succeed without support from many of golf's biggest stars. Even if everyone ultimately agrees on the destination, reaching that destination involves countless discussions, revisions, and compromises. Many analysts believe the coming seasons could become some of the most important in PGA Tour history. If the proposed competitive structure succeeds, professional golf may become easier for casual fans to understand while maintaining opportunities for rising players. If the changes fail, critics will likely argue that the tour moved too far away from its traditional identity. Meanwhile, fans continue watching every interview from McIlroy, Rolapp, Tiger Woods, and other influential figures for clues about what happens next. Each press conference generates new speculation, and every carefully chosen sentence becomes another headline across sports media. Regardless of where individual fans stand, one fact remains clear. Professional golf is evolving faster than it has in decades. Technology, television, sponsorship, player movement, and global competition are reshaping nearly every aspect of the sport. Decisions made today could define the PGA Tour for many years to come. As for the rumors surrounding lawyers and legal action, there is currently no credible evidence supporting those claims. What we do know is that Rory McIlroy challenged certain aspects of the proposed plans. Rolapp responded publicly, and both men have held direct conversations about the future of the PGA Tour. Those verified developments are significant enough on their own, without adding speculation. The next chapter will likely unfold over the coming months as additional details about the PGA Tour's long-term plans become public. Players will continue offering feedback, executives will continue refining proposals, and fans will continue debating every major announcement. If there is one certainty, it is that the future of professional golf remains one of the most fascinating stories.